everyone, and welcome back to the Candy Shop. As always, I'm your girl, Candy Washington, and I am so excited to get into it today about all things reality TV with Bravo's The Real Housewife of Orange County. So let's get into it. As you guys come in, why don't you just go ahead and like this video? Why don't you subscribe to the channel, and why don't you share this with a friend, because a kiki is always better with community. So be sure to do that, subscribe and share as you come into the room. And as you come in, be sure to drop your candy canes. Let me know where you're listening from, what questions you have, and how you want to get into it. So the ladies of Orange County, let's talk about it. I felt like this last episode was good in the sense of it wasn't so much like drama, but I felt like it really showcased real life problems and interactions and tough times. And I'm particularly talking about Dr. Jen and her, I guess, estranged husband at this point. I think I saw that they separated and he like really laughed at this point, and what's going on in their marriage and everything like that. So I have a couple of ideas and theories about that, and I want you guys to let me know if you agree. So when it comes to Dr. Jen and her estranged husband, I guess, I know he goes by Rind, like an orange rind, but I'm just going to call him Ryan because I'm like Terry DeBro. Like, I need time to process that. So I'm just going to call him Ryan. Sorry, Ryan. I thought, and you guys let me know what you think. I thought when Terry was giving him the business about not drinking and not doing any drugs, I was like, this is everything. Terry was like, wait, what? He was like, you've never had it out anything? You never smoked? You never did blah, 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 blah. I was like, this is everything. Because I kind of skew where Wendy Williams skews. If you used to watch Wendy Williams, she used to always be like, if there's someone who doesn't drink, and we're not talking about people who are in AA or people who may have an addiction problem and they're taking care of themselves and they're being responsible and they're not drinking. We're not talking about that. We honor those people. We're talking about the people who just don't drink. And she was like, I just don't trust those people. And I'm kind of the same. I'm kind of like Squinty. Like, I don't want you to get wasted the way Jen got wasted at that dinner party. But like, it's nice to like share a glass of wine with someone, or like, it's a really beautiful day and you have like some rosé, or just like, like a nice scotch or something. Like, it's nice just to like have that. It's just sort of like social. It's like ingrained in our society. So I get why Terry was just like, what the F? This is kind of bizarre. But then, as the DeBros do, he was like, well, what is your vice? And he's like, oh, I used to gamble. But then did you realize Ryan was like, I used to be a professional gambler until the kids came along? When gender roles are reversed, it's always so interesting to me. Like, I'm a pretty liberal person, and I think that if the guy wants to stay home, that's fine. If the woman wants to go work, that's fine. Like, I don't think that's my place to have an opinion about how people want to live their lives. But it's always interesting when those gender roles are reversed. And Terry was just like, yeah, I don't think I could be married to a doctor. And Ryan's just like, yeah, well, I think tell my wife that or whatever. And it was so funny because it just shows you how humans are humans are humans. Because listening to Ryan talk, it's very much how a lot of women who used to work or women who used to have a passion or a hobby or whatever kind of talk about when they give up what lit them on fire to raise their children. A lot of women are like, I was in law school. I wanted to start my own business. I was doing this, this, and this. And then I got married, and then I had to stay home and raise the kids. And you kind of see that light goes out in their eyes. You kind of see that passion in them dim. And I think we're seeing that in Ryan. But I will also say this. Ryan, I see you. We see each other. You're not faking it with me, Ryan. I think that Ryan knew exactly what he was getting into. I think he knew exactly what he was doing. I think he bit off more than he can chew. But I do not think this situation deviates from his ultimate plan. Ryan to me seems like the type of person who wanted to marry someone with money or be with someone with money, have the kids, and when it got to a certain point, be able to leave that person, which is exactly what he's doing now, and still collect those alimony and child support checks. I know that might sound callous. I know that might sound, I don't know, it might sound cynical. It might sound cynical, but I'm not coming from a malicious or a cynical place. It's just what I observe from how he treats Jen and their dynamics and like hearing their story. It just seems like he knew what he was getting, he knew what he was signing up for, but then when he actually got it, he was kind of like, wait a minute, this isn't what I thought it was going to be. Like I thought it was going to be I would stay home with the kids, I could just work out, do me all day, I don't have to have a job. Because remember when he said to Terry, he goes, I've never had a real job. And I'm not saying people have to have a real job, but if your income is being a professional gambler, I think the mentality is this is my real job. But I think when your mentality is I've never had a real job, then I think you're a person who doesn't want to have a real job and that level of responsibility. So that's what I mean by Ryan. Like I'm a creative person and I make my money being creative, but I consider what I do a real job. I would never say to someone, I don't have a real job. What I do is actual work. And thankfully, I'm able to make money from it. So I think when someone, regardless of what they do, refers to themselves as never having a real job, I think that tells you exactly that person's intentions and that person's mindset. And I think Ryan and Terry was right. He was like when he said to Jen, well, she married the right person. Because it takes a particular person who knows I want to marry this person or have children with this person for the bag. It's not just the stereotypical Instagram model wants to get an athlete for the bag, or young girl wants to date an older man for the bag. No, 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 sweetheart. There are a lot of different people, a lot of different relationship dynamics where they want to get the ring or get married or get the kids for the bag. And that's what I think Ryan did. But I think it's like it always is. All that glitters isn't gold. Like you think it's going to be easy street, but then you realize you actually have to raise these children. You actually have to live with this person. You actually have to have a life. And then I think when that reality sets in, that's when you have them fighting. That's when you have the friction. That's when they don't communicate. Jen is getting wasted at dinners. He's leaving. Clearly, they're not having sex. Like when the reality of the situation sets in, is totally different. That's why you get a lot of like the people who have these flashy lives behind the scenes. Are like, it's not what I thought it was, or whatever. Blah 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 blah. So, and I don't mean to diminish that by any means, but like I don't think Ryan is any different from like an Instagram model who wanted to date an NBA player for the bag. He just happened to date a plastic surgeon or cosmet whatever she does, the Botox and all that stuff, right? So that's where it comes to, hey guys, what's up? Hey Darren says, hey Candy, how are you? Hey Vodka, what's up? Hello, so I caught you. I'm not gonna say anything, but just I hope everything went great today. I'll just say that, Vodka. I hope everything went great today. Sending you lots of love, and I'm gonna leave it there. But I hope everything went great today. Okay, you guys. So yeah, let's get back into it. So that's right, you guys. If you're liking this, like this video, subscribe to the channel, put your candy canes in the chat box. Let me know what's up. So yeah, that's kind of what I feel about Ryan. And I would also be really interested to know if he grew up with a parent or a sibling or someone really, really important to him who had an addiction problem. Because I get people who don't drink a lot. I get people who don't partake a lot, but just to have never have touched anything, to me, I'm like, there's a story there. There's a story there. There's something there. And I would really want to know like what it is. And I think that maybe watching his wife get so drunk and because it is a turnoff. Like if you're sober and somebody is wasted, I don't care who you are in a romantic sense, unless they're like cuckoo doodle doo, that is a complete turn off, right? So maybe there's some underlying stuff going on there. And Dr. Jen, like I said before, I think her underlying issues is I don't think she's dealt with the death of her father. I think that she's looking for Ryan to be her surrogate father instead of Ryan to be her husband. And I think that is where the disconnect is. You cannot look to your partner to be your parent. You need to look to your partner to be your partner. And I think that if Jen would work through the mourning and the grieving process of losing her father so young, and I mean, she was like in her early 20s, but to me, that's still really young. And so abruptly, like, like the shock of like your parent being there and then unexpectedly dying, that's a totally different type of shock. So I think she needs to deal with that, and I think if she would heal some of that up, that would help her relationship too. But I also squint at Ryan because I don't think that Ryan was ever really on board in an actual sense of, this is my wife and this is the life I want. If you see what I'm saying, you see what I'm saying. Okay. So let's see what's up. All right. Emily and Gina. Tweedledee and Tweedledummer. Like, I cannot. The only people who rival, in my opinion, Emily and Gina is Heather and Whitney from the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Like, I cannot. Okay, I'm going to be honest. I'm not trying to be rude, but their voices at this point is grating. And the reason why their voices is grating is because they're always talking crap. They're always talking crap about Shannon. They're always talking crap, well, pretty much just about Shannon. Or when it comes to Gina, Noella, or whatever. And they're so fake and phony. And they're carrying these fake bones. And the reason why they remind me of Heather and Whitney is because they like to make up theories and then repeat them as if they're fact. And that I don't like. Like, they're just making up, oh, Shannon is jealous that Gina is friends with Heather, blah, 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 blah. No, Shannon is not jealous that Gina is friends with Heather. Shannon is still pissed and feeling a type of way, which I would too, that Gina and Emily completely went and threw her under their bus when it came to what was that girl's name? Who sued Terry DeBro, who we never saw again. As quiet as it's kept, how come we've never seen her again on the show? Noella wasn't lying when she said, "Watch out for Heather." And let me be clear, I love Heather and Terry. I think they're amazing and great. But I'm also going to call a spade a spade. I don't think Noella told any lies when she was just like, Heather in your face is saying one thing, but behind your back is doing nothing. Because I think the reason why that girl, I can't even think of her name. What was her name? I can't even think of her name right now. But when she was I forget what her name was. See, because she's not even on the show anymore. And I think the reason why she's not on the show is because Heather and Terry nipped that in the bud. The moment they realized she was the one who sued Terry, they got her off the show. We never saw her after episode 2, maybe 3, but that was a wrap. So Noella told no lies when it came to that. No lies. But okay, so again, back to Gina and Emily. Shannon is not jealous of you, Gina. And Gina, I'm not trying to shade you. I'm really, really not. But I don't know what exactly you think you have to be jealous of in this group of women. And I'm just going to call a spade a spade. You are one of the, let's just say, most relatable housewives when it comes to the Orange County. Like, I think, sure, Shannon's divorced, but that's really not that big of a deal. Like, literally more than half of people are divorced. Shannon has beautiful children. I'm not going to bring kids into the conversation because it's never my place to speak on somebody's children. They both have beautiful children. Shannon has a great boyfriend. Shannon is building her business. Like, I don't know what you think you have going on for you, Gina, that you think that Shannon would be jealous of you. Like, that to me doesn't track. Being jealous of actual Heather Dubrow, sure. Like, I'm jealous of Heather Dubrow. I want a multi-bazillion dollar home where I can just click a button and get champagne delivered to me, you know? I will speak that into my existence. I am excited for that. I receive it, all of that, right? So when I say jealous, I'm just being like fun and kiki. But what I'm saying is I don't understand where Gina gets off thinking she has something to be jealous of. And I agree with Shannon. Gina, you need to check your ego and you need to put a pin in it because again, Gina and Shannon are just making up stuff to pick and pick and pick at Shannon. And that shows me Gina was never really friends with Shannon and she was just being fake. Gina only started rocking with Shannon when Bravo let Vicky and Tamara go. Because to me, Gina is a social climber in that icky, desperate way. Like literally, Heather, this episode was like, let me come over and clean out your closet, sweetheart. And this is another reason why I love Heather Dubrow because Heather loves a project. I do too. Like, I love a project. Heather loves a project, and Heather's project is Gina. Gina kisses her butt. Gina is very agreeable, and Gina could use some work. And I think Heather loves all of those things. She likes that Gina kisses her butt. She likes that Gina is agreeable when it comes to Heather. I'm not talking about in general, but when it comes to her. And I like that. And I think that Heather likes that Gina needs a little bit of work because it gives Heather a project. And I am so here for it. But I don't like Gina's energy because it's that desperate, pick me, needy, social climbery energy. And to me, that's just like gross. Gina was only friends with Shannon when she thought she needed Shannon to stay on the show. And that was it. And I don't rock with people like that. Like you either rock with me or you don't rock with me. You don't use me because you think that you need me to get something. That's being a user. And I don't rock with that. Gina, miss me with your whole vibe. When it comes to Emily, I like Emily without Gina because Emily now is just carrying Gina's bones. Gina said this about Shannon. Shannon said this about Gina. And it's just like, it's too much. It's too much. Like, stop. Also, when it comes to Emily, I will say this. I love the growth that I see between her and Shane. This might sound weird, but whatever. I actually really like Shane's personality. I think he's really funny. I get his snark. I get his sarcasm. I get his tone. It's very highbrow. Like I really like Shane. I never thought Shane was a jerk. I never thought Shane was a bad guy. I thought that Shane had a very particular sense of humor and it came across weird at times. And I think that if you don't get that type of snark, you would think he was a jerk and you would think he was bad. And I do think that Emily had a little bit of stuff going on there too. And I say that because I actually think this is the weird part. I actually think my personality is very similar to Shane's. You guys might not agree, but I think my personality is very similar to Shane's. Like we have a very similar tone sometimes. We have a very similar snark and a very similar sarcasm. So like I totally get Shane and I love their relationship. So you guys know I love like self-care and self-love. And I've noticed, especially on this episode, how affirming they are to each other. Like Emily's like, you're such a good man. You're such a good man. And I was like, she's doing it right. Because the thing is, you want to speak what you want into your partner. You want to speak the life into your partner. You know, as opposed to what we see with Jen and Ryan, where she's just completely always telling him what is wrong with him and what he needs to be doing and where he's lacking and where she's not happy. Emily is always saying to Shane, you're such a good father. You're such a good man. And I love how Shane, this episode, was just like, you're my woman. And I was like, oh, that is so sweet. He was like, you're my woman. And I was just like, I love it. So they kind of look a little bit like the odd couple, but like I'm here for it. I'm happy for their growth in their relationship. I'm happy to see that they're in a good, healthy place. I love how they affirm each other. However, I will say And again, I never want to knock any religion because it's never my place to knock a religion. But I thought it was like a funny kiki moment when Emily was talking about how she was so excited that her daughter was going to be baptized into the Mormon religion. And I thought, are you not watching The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Emily? Have we learned nothing about the Mormon religion from the ladies of Salt Lake? But I'm just gonna put a pin on that because again, I'm not knocking any religion. If people are Mormon, I honor and respect that. But I just thought it was funny how she was just like about that, and I was like, you need to watch The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City if you're co-signing for the Mormon religion. So I thought that was really funny. I wanted more of Noella this episode. We saw her for like a hot second. Her friend Kenny, can we like take a beat for Kenny? I was like, what the Victoria's Secret Dior model is going on here? Her friend was gorgeous. I love the two of them together. I'm tired of the divorce talk. Like, I get what Emily is saying about it. Like, Noella, we know you're going through a tough time. We know your husband is a wackadoodle. I'll say alleged, given what everything has said and been going on. But like, can we get another beat? Like, can we get another moment for you, Noella? Like, I really like her, but we get it. You're going through a really crappy divorce. Your ex-husband slash estranged husband slash I don't know where divorce stands is weird. But like, what else is going on? Or like, give us something else. Like, I want like a different moment for Noella because it was kind of like beating a dead horse. But her friend Kenny was gorgeous, and I was just like, I'm not that far away. Like, can we all get together and get some rosé and have a good kiki? Like, I'm here for it. Just putting that out there. Okay, what else is going on? I love Shannon. I love Shannon. I love watching Shannon and John together because that gave us a more of a glimpse into their relationship. And what I loved so much about Shannon and John was the fact that John was just so supportive of her when it came to the Gina stuff. And he was like, well, who does Gina think she is? You know, he's like, we're always nice to Gina and Travis, but like every time she gets a chance behind your back, she's like saying something. And I was just like, you know what? I effing love that. I effing love that. I love the fact that John had her back. He at no moment dismissed her feelings. He at no moment belittled them. He had no moment sort of just checked out. You know, there was no devil advocate. Because I hate it when you go to your partner and you're like, oh, like my friend or this person did something to me. And they're like, well, to play devil's advocate, what did you do? And I'm like, shut your pothole. Okay. I didn't come to you to be a devil's advocate. I came to you to be my advocate, right? So I love that he just held space for her and then he validated how she felt and defended her. He's like, you have millions of friends. Like, you're so nice. Like, who does she think she is? And I was just like, you know what? Damn right. Like, that's what you want your partner to do. You want your partner to be like, someone's coming at you. Who do they think they are? I don't think so. And I was like, I love this. And I love that for Shannon because if you watch the other seasons, her ex-husband, what was his name? I forget his name. Anyway, Shannon's ex-husband never validated her. Never, and always gaslit her. And that is what crazy making behavior is. Anytime she would go to him and she would be like, this is how I feel, or this is what someone said, or this is what happened, he would always flip it like, well, what did you do? You're overreacting. You're being too sensitive. He would totally dismiss her and invalidate her. And I'm like, no wonder you guys got a divorce. And no wonder like she was miserable and you were miserable because you need to validate and support your partner. You don't always have to be the other person's advocate. When all your partner really wants for you to say is, you know what, honey, that really sucks. And I got your back. And that's really it. You just want your partner to be like, that sucks, but I got you. You know, support. Okay, let's see what you guys are saying in the chat box. If you guys are having fun, because I know I am, be sure to like that. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share with friends. All right, let's see what you guys are saying. Becca, are folks happy with Heather's return? I'm happy with Heather's return. I love fancy pants. I love fancy pants. But you guys know me. You know I like the Heather Dubrows. I like the Bethany Frankels. I like the Lisa Barlows. I like the Lisa Vanderpumps. I like the Leannes. I like the Larsa Pippins. Like, I love them. So I'm here for Heather. I am here for Heather. Hey, Darren. I never really liked Gina nor Emily. Same. Same. Tweedledee and Tweedledum, I can't get behind them. It's like their voices are grating. And I'm not saying that to like shame their voice or anything, but I mean their voices are grating because they're always full of crap. And they're always talking about people and making up stories and then reporting back like it's fact. Like Heather and Whitney from Real Housewives of Salt Lake City's, and that's why I can't get behind them. If you had an actual fact or an actual event, we can talk. But to just conjecture and speak it as if it's true, we have a problem. Darren Hood said Nicole. Nicole! Yes, Nicole. That was her name. Remember Nicole? What happened to Nicole? Where Nicole at? Noella told no lies. I think Noella heard Heather Dubrow going off and losing it when it came out that Nicole had sued Terry Dubrow. And Nicole just evaporated. There wasn't a goodbye, Nicole. There wasn't any like, oh, Nicole's going to go travel now. Oh, Nicole's doing this, that, and the third. Nicole just never showed up again. Just never showed up again. Who do you think did that? The Dubrows. Darren, her name was Nicole. Yup. Hey, Vodka. I always get Gina and Emily mixed up. Interchangeable heifers. So true. So true. There's always one that I dislike like a little bit more when it comes to like dangerous duos like that. And for me, it's Gina. Because I think Gina is really the root of the nonsense, and Emily to me is more of like a follow along. But Emily to me is also being really annoying. And have we noticed how I even think, and again, I think Gina has that snobby ego because she's like a wannabe. And you do see how Gina is even throwing Emily a little bit of shade, like with like Emily's drinking. I mean, Emily's drinking has gotten a little bit suspect. Like, I feel like every episode, Emily is like blackout. And did you guys remember when Gina called Emily? Did she call her the Hulk or did she call her the what did she call her when she was getting like drunk and aggressive? She called her, well, we don't want it was either like the Hulk to come out or something like that. And in my mind, I was just like, Gina, damn, like you're calling your friend, it was like the Hulk or it was something like that. It wasn't Shrek. Shrek was the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. It was like I think she said the Hulk. And I was just like, if my friend was calling me the Hulk, that would not be my friend anymore. But okay. Hey, Vodka. Oh, yes. Gina was the one that wanted to be friends with Shannon so bad. Emily, too. Exactly. They were fiending. They were fiending to be friends with Shannon when they thought they needed Shannon, when they thought Shannon could give them something. But the moment, shinier, richer, whatever you want to call it, Heather came along, it was like, Shannon who? And to me, what I think is so dirty about it is, okay, fine. You want to be friends with Heather because Heather is the new HBIC. Totally get it. Totally get it. I want to be friends with Heather too. Heather Dubrow, if you ever watch this, I want to be friends. I'll be your project. Adopt. Take me. So trust me, I am throwing no shade at Gina when it comes to that. My issue with Gina and Emily when it comes to Shannon and Heather is they didn't have to throw Shannon under the bus. And that is the issue I have with them. They didn't have to take what Shannon said off camera and not mic'd. And that's a huge, huge difference. Because remember a couple seasons ago when it was like the whole Kelly Dodd debacle, when Tamara said that there was a rumor that Kelly had run a choo-choo or whatever. But the difference to me is that Tamara said it while mic'd. So if you say something when you're on camera or you know you have a mic on, that is very, very different than saying something to the girls when there are no cameras and no mics. So there was no way Zero way for what Shannon told Gina and Emily about Nicole suing Terry and DeBro to come onto the show unless someone actually spoke it, because there was no footage and there was no audio of it. And that's why I give Shannon more credit, because I think Shannon was, they were out, they were doing tequila shots, they were feeling it, they were loosey goosey. And this was something Shannon told Emily and Gina in confidence. And I think that where Shannon misstepped was trusting them. And that's why she went to Heather and was just like, they're not to be trusted because I told them something in confidence and now they went and brought it to the show. The fact that Nicole sued Terry would have never made it to the show if Gina and Emily hadn't thought, oh, we're going to take this information, we're going to use it to stab Shannon in the back and to get on Heather's good side. But that's what people do when they have low self-esteem. And I'm just going to keep it funky. When you have low self-esteem and I don't mean by money, I don't mean by status, I mean just by you just have low self-esteem. You think that in order to get in good with someone else, you have to do dirt on somebody else to do it. You have to go to them with leverage. You have to go to them with a bargaining chip. So I think Emily and Gina thought, we'll offer up Shannon to get on Heather's good graces, because there was a part of them that didn't think that they were good enough on their own. It's not good enough for me to come to Heather and want to be Heather's friend. I'm going to have to bring something to Heather. It sounds bizarre, but I think that's a lot how some people operate. They think that like, oh, well, like Heather will trust me. Heather will come to me because I'm bringing her something. So I'm going to go and stab Shannon in the back. Like what Gina and Emily did to Shannon was really, really messed up. Point blank, period. It was real messed up. I am hoping for Shannon and Heather to become friends. That is my hope of all hopes when it comes to the OC. I want Shannon and Heather to become friends. I want them to be a dangerous duo and leave Emily and Gina in the dust. Dr. Jen needs some, again, I'm not a therapist, I'm not a doctor, but I think she needs to work through her trauma and her mourning from the loss of her father before she even works on her marriage. Because before you fix you can't fix relationships outside of you. And I think that's a big stuff. And I'm not really sure. And again, it's not my place to speak on people's relationships. So I'm only going to give my opinion based on what I see on the show, because I want to be respectful. But based on what I see on the show, from what they put out, I will comment on that. I'm not exactly sure Ryan is the right person for Jen. I'm not sure Ryan really wants to be in this particular situation. So I don't know if it's out. I don't know if they can save it. And I'm just saying that based on what I've seen on the show, because yeah, we can have fun. We can do recaps and have a kiki, but I still want to be respectful of people. So just based on what I see on the show, that's what I see when it comes to them. Okay, let's see what you guys are saying in the chat box. Hey, Young Rich, I haven't watched yet, but hey, is the episode good? Yeah, see, I think the episode is good, but it's good in the way where there's not like drama, but I do think there's a lot of good storytelling and relationships going on. Like, I want to know, why doesn't Ryan drink? Like, what's the real reason? What was the real story behind why he proposed to Jen? Why did Jen get so wasted at that party? And it was really, really sad. And it was really, really hard to watch. Will Gina and Emily be exposed for the liars that they are? I want to see, is Shannon and Heather going to become this dangerous duo and really ride it out? I love seeing John having Shannon's back. I love Terry and Heather. I love them. I think they're a great couple. I think they're great parents. I think they're great for reality TV. I'm here for fancy pants all day long. Gina needs to pipe down. No one's jealous of you, boo-boo. Literally no one. I'm confused. Like, you're literally the least jealousable love, enviable of on the show. So Gina really needs to get a reality check. I like Shane too. LOL, Vodka. Yeah. I really, Shane and I have a very similar personality. I like Shane. Hello. Hi, Ivy. Yes, Ivy can't be broken. That is right. Hello, sweetheart. How are you? Hey, Young Rich. No, Noella. Well, good. I missed it. Oh, hey. So Noella was in it for like a hot minute. She had this one cute little scene with her friend Kenny. her friend Kenny was gorgeous. I was like, what is going on? What in the Russian model is not is going on? Like, not Russia. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that. I take that back. But what in the gorgeous model is going on, right? Hey, Darren Hood, I'm starting to grow on Noella. Me too. Like, she's quirky and cute. Like, she's quirky. But I need her to have a different beat than just the divorce. Hey, NickQ, came to like and show some love. Thank you, sweetheart. That's right, you guys. If you're in here, you're having a good kiki, like this video, subscribe to the channel, share with a friend. Let's have some fun. Let's do this. So what else is going on with them? I think I covered all of the bases. I thought I still have to, Queen Heather was like, I said it before, but it bears repeating to Gina, let me come and help you clean your closet. Like the shade of it all. The shade. It was amazing. But anybody else catch, like, I love Fancy Pants, but the only time I thought she was doing like too much, because she does the most at all times, but I'm always here for it. Like the printed menu, the different courses. Like when she throws an event, I'm always here for it. Like I don't care. However, the one point where I was just like, okay, Fancy Pants, like you didn't need to do this. When she came to Gina's house and she had a whole clothing rack, but she only had 2 jackets that were the same style, just 2 different sizes. Now you're doing the most. Like to me, I was just like, we didn't need a clothing rack for this, Heather. Like you could have just rocked the 2 jackets. But other than that, I love Fancy Pants. I want to throw, no, I don't want, I'm going to throw fancy parties like she does. Like there isn't a party like a Heather Dubrow party, and I'm here for it. I want to push a button and get champagne too. Heather, I love that you're living your best life. I'm here for it. So, all right, you guys, I think we did it. I think we did it. So that is it for today's recap of the Real Housewives of OC. If you like our fun community, be sure to subscribe to this channel, like this video, and share with a friend, because a kiki is always better with community. Tomorrow we will be doing the Real Housewives of Miami. And if you missed any of our lives this week, be sure to go to my reality TV and pop culture playlist on my channel and catch up on the recaps that you missed, because the replay gang is strong. If you're into self-love, self-care, and manifestation, check out the links below. I have some free self-care guides. I have a Lux Life VIP group where you can get weekly coaching and access to all of our resources. So we do a lot over here. We do reality TV, we do self-care, self-love, we do manifestation, we do pop culture, we do the damn thing. So I love you guys. I love you, my beautiful candy canes. Mwah. Let's see what the new comments are saying. Oh, hey. Did I do Jersey? I didn't do Jersey yet because I haven't seen it yet. So tomorrow will be Miami or Jersey, depending on which one I see first, but I will be doing both of them. Yes, can't wait for Miami. Me too. Miami. So it'll be good. I believe that they're having their reunion this week, so that would be good. Okay, you guys, I love you, and I will see you next time. Bye. Bye.